We like to build up all the anticipation.
Wait for it.
Let's say hypothetically that I don't know anything about fly fishing.
Yeah, right?
It was like this instant 8-way man crush.
I'm on the fence.
The time we've been doing this podcast, I've never seen Uncle Buck perk up his dolphin procreation. Like you just flipped up out of your chair.
Yeah, he just blew out his blowhole.
What are you talking about?
And that's pretty much my dream coming true is to actually meet you guys.
Yeah. Well, I'm the humblest guy I know.
Humble.
Work and do trade shows in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. You meet some pretty wild guys.
You blew it!
I'm the worst PR person ever. Fire me.
Welcome back. You're in the current.
In the current.
Guys, we are fresh off the Great American Outdoor Show, and we have a lot to talk about. Who's with me tonight?
It's Uncle Buck.
I'm Ryan.
This is Dave.
I'm Catfish.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Will. I can't begin to thank you guys for your hard work, for, just putting the miles on. I'd love to see everyone's pedometer after that experience.
I left mine at home.
Yeah, well.
I still have 0 pets.
What's a pedometer?
It counts your pets.
Oh, that's my... Yeah. All right.
So, but anyway, guys, thanks so much. It was a long week, and
That's an understatement, bud.
But it's cool that we get to do it every year. So
You learn something every year.
yeah,
I learned not to wear 1,200-gram rubber boots all week for 12 hours a day.
really.
Yeah, I think I'm going to buy myself a pair of actual hikers for next year.
Yeah.
How'd your feet smell after that?
I don't know. I was too tired to smell them. I think
Why are you interested in
pretty
that?
sure on Tuesday I just slept in them because we got up early Wednesday.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So who wants to kind of kick off their week in review?
I bet Ryan does.
I'm gonna hijack it, if I may.
Oh, go ahead.
Hijack
buddy.
I mean,
away.
whatever,
I
but
think Ryan should
no,
start.
go ahead,
Anybody
take
else?
the reins.
all right. Let's get Ryan in there.
Ryan
So
should
here's the way I sees it. Oh, DK was trying to reach for the mic. Sorry. Stand back. Hold my beer and watch this. The first thing I want to point out is I was at the show 6 out of the 9 days, and I feel like I missed so much.
So you missed the day that you guys talked to Roland Martin.
No, I was there.
Oh, that was.
Oh yeah, that
everybody
was me and
else.
DK.
Oh,
Everybody else missed
gotcha.
that day.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying that you guys didn't miss some of the things that I got to partake in, but my point there was
That was a big day, wasn't it, Stevie?
9 days for an outdoor show sounds like a long time.
Yeah.
And I know we all feel the grind of it, but if you miss one of those 9 days, you've missed content, which is why we put out all those episodes from the show. And each one is jam-packed full of just amazing interactions.
One right after another.
And that's what really grabbed me, I think. I joined the group last year not long after the show, right? Mm-hmm. I was part of the group, like a ancillary piece of the group before the show started last year.
I already had you picked out. I just didn't tell anybody.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
He didn't tell anyway.
But, I came
I signed his shirt 3 weeks earlier.
I came to
He was a fan.
I was a super fan because I showed up at the Sportsman's Night Out last year.
Yeah.
And I was there as a super fan and participated and sat there in awe and got to meet all you guys, and it was fantastic. It was a great time. And I've been coming to the show in Harrisburg every year since I was 12 years old.
Right.
Or probably before that, in a stroller or whatever. This was... And
Shin basher.
I've been at the show with vendors before. I helped out National Wild Turkey Federation. Been there with the archery shops I've worked at before. This was the first time I felt like I was actually part of the show. And that's something I can't put it into words, and I can't describe it. And I told you guys, I think on day 5 of the 9 days, like, thank you. And that's what I want to get across tonight. Like, thank you guys for letting me be part of this so that I could be part of that show.
You're welcome.
Yeah, bud. Of course.
And I know you mean that because Mr. Ryan bought me a really nice gift, and I'm not sharing it with. My dad tried to steal it. Lacey wants it. I said no like 10 times. He's like, no, come on. Come on. He drug me down to
the dry packs.
The dry case, dry
Yeah.
pack.
I'll take you to the bags.
Yeah. He said, if you don't pick a color out, I'm just buying you the blue one. He got me a nice gift to say thanks for, bringing them on this year, and I wouldn't have had it any other way, man. You've been huge part of this.
Oh, no question about it, but you pushed as hard as anyone, and no complaining, nothing. Maybe a couple, jabs at me every once in a while.
That was just to keep you on your toes.
Oh, me?
A stray basketball flying down the alleyway of the fishing hole.
Yeah.
That I had nothing to do with. That was our interns. We had interns with us a couple of days because my kids did tag along.
Oh, that's one of my favorite interns.
Even with one of the snow days, we had some of my kids were in there, and you guys. That's the other thing. I mean, you guys welcome my kids as part of the group, almost as if they were sitting around the podcast table with us. When they show up to an event, and they've been to way more than I wanted them to be at. But when we have an outing and my kids get to tag along, it means so much to them, and it really helps me participate, obviously, in some of these things, because there's times when they have to be with me.
But that's kind of
so you guys fold them in to the group,
but
and
that's what we are, man. We're a family, and
Absolutely.
your family is our family, and vice. And
It's Ryan's fault he calls them kickables. I really had a good time walking up and down the alleyway, kicking at giving her a little boot. She'd give me a boot back. She'd throw the basketball at me.
Some high sticking.
Mm-hmm.
Some trout catching.
Thanks for my bag, by the way. That was nice of you.
No problem, buddy. I wouldn't have had it any other way myself.
What else
for
did
me,
you like?
Just, and Will said this at the onset of the show, what our goal was, right? And the goal was make real connections.
Yeah, that's it.
And honestly, like the day that DK and I were there pretty much by ourselves, we're the new guys of the group, and we're heading this thing up, and we're getting big giant man hugs from Roland Martin when we're talking. Oh, sorry, Stevie.
You did talk to Roland Martin.
Yeah,
You guys talked to Roland
I think
Martin?
we may have actually had a discussion with
That's
him.
pretty huge.
No kidding.
I had to throw that jab in for Stevie there. But,
Yeah, thanks for that.
we're walking around as the new guys of the group, but we're able to go up to these booths, introduce ourselves. They recognize the name,
The street cred.
the street, the street cred that we bring.
Yeah.
And we were able to make real connections with people.
Yeah.
Like I walked away from that show as from being the new guy of the group when I walked in to being like real friends with countless people. And that's what it was all about. That's what you wanted to have us do, Will. And that's honestly what I think we did. And that was the greatest part of the show for me.
Yeah,
And
you're going to go
it
back
was
next
amazing.
year, and the same people are going to be there, and they're going to wonder what's new for Rutten River, and we're going to wonder what's new for all of them. It's a really cool thing. It's a really great thing. And if you'd go up there and you set your own agenda and you don't care about them, you just, ramrod through all that stuff, they're not going to give a crap year to year. They're not going to, it just, we really do care about making that show, what it is. I mean, it's brought so much to our lives. If we can add to it at all, man, that's
another great point is that we're becoming part of something that's meant so much to us.
Yeah.
For all these years. So, having said all of that, one last time, thank you guys. And even though I didn't make the MVP, I'd like to see the MVP follow that up.
Woo, booyah.
Mic drop.
Before we move, this is a question. I just want to ask a question though. What's the one thing that you wish you bought that you didn't buy at the show?
The one thing I wish I bought
that I
did not buy.
What did you leave out of there that you now maybe regret? I know I'm just hitting you with that, but I thought that might be an interesting question.
From out of nowhere, I would say honestly, Ooh.
I was thinking the
I can't say Hobie. Only because my wife does listen to the podcast. She's listened to all the podcasts, and I've filled her in on some of the information.
Yeah. Next year, I'm going to need $5,000 going into the. Yeah.
No, oh man, there were so many things. I want to book trips.
Okay, I'll count that as one.
There was some product that I want to pick up, things that I need to have. I'm gonna steal Catfish's thunder, and I think it's gonna be the Sand Blaster bait caster.
Very nice
deal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, very nice.
That's probably the thing he needs to have yet.
Well, I was going to say that when I came around, but it was no, it was on the
Stole
top of the list. Yep.
I want to get that and just fill it full of Kitex. Just let it spread. Just
chumming with Kitex.
Yeah, just chum the river with Kitex. Just get them rolling.
And realistically, though, to answer that question, there was a ton of fishing stuff that I still need to get. Like I'm relatively new to the world of fishing. I got a lot of stuff I need to do to upgrade my equipment. There were some things that I picked up that I think are going to help me this year, and there's some stuff that I left on the floor. I'm thinking specifically some swim baits and some musky stuff.
You know what's funny is the guy that was featured in Bass Fishing Magazine, and it's like done countless videos for the world's fastest growing sonar company.
Yes.
Still says, I'm relatively new to fishing.
Caught the biggest catfish
Caught the
out
biggest
of the
catfish
lake here in Pennsylvania that anybody's ever
But
caught.
you're officially
I am still relatively new to fishing.
You're officially no longer relatively.
What I'm doing is I'm making.
He's moderately new now.
I'm making fishing relatable to the common man. Right?
Gotcha.
Because if there's anyone at this table that's common, it's me. I'm a dime a dozen.
Bless your heart.
I'm the most common person I know.
Yeah, beat me to it.
Oh man. I just don't know anybody else that's been in a bass fishing magazine like that's. I'm still kind of new to all of this.
I feel like I have a lot to learn.
Check out my page 43. I'm not sure what
it was 58.
Oh, so.
I mean, I'm guessing.
Probably somewhere in the
Well, who else has something?
Well, Ryan said it's my turn. So, one thing, I never met you guys until the Sportsman's Night Out last year. So,
were you there?
Yeah, I was there. So there's like an
you were.
official. I've known you guys face to face for a full year. So that's pretty.
We got history.
Yeah, now we have history. You know.
We were still calling you David Kyle then, though.
Yeah.
Like you, the guy with two first names.
I didn't even remember that. I was asking who. Didn't I ask you to go get me another beer? I thought you were the waiter.
That's what happens when you wear like a black shirt.
When you wear a tuxedo.
It was a T-shirt though.
I wanted to be formal, but yet party.
Ready to party.
Oh yeah.
No, I had a great week. Thankfully, you guys invited me, of course, just like Ryan said. And just like Ryan, I've been going to that show for a very long time. And it's a tradition for Dad and I to go. And it's just one of our things we always look forward to. And it was pretty cool that you guys, I don't know if it was on purpose or accidentally, but the rookies were by ourselves.
Yeah. No, we do a lot of things on accident. Like, it doesn't.
What do you mean? We planned that out for the last 6 months, guys.
Yeah. We'll put the rookies in on Monday, and Roland Martin will show up. So
wait a second.
Wait,
put the brakes on there.
No,
you mean Roland Martin was there when you and Ryan were there?
Yeah,
alone?
he gave me a deep hug. I was in there.
Roland Martin was also there Tuesday.
Yeah.
When other people were going to be there.
But he wasn't that busy on Monday.
Oh, well,
so we had to take care of it on Monday.
So you took one out of Stevie's book and you short drifted
Exactly.
You short drifted us, Roland Martin.
Yeah.
No matter how many times I jump in your trout fishing hole or whatever, I'll never be able to say I short drifted Roland Martin.
Yeah.
So
I'll take that one
until next year.
Until next year.
That's good on you.
The short
like
drift or short drifts.
Yeah. But like I remember going to that show as a kid and being pulled out of the.
How old were you? Like 5x5?
Yeah, probably like 5x5. I was about 10 years old and pulled out of the crowd to come up onto the hog trough and like cast a bait with whatever professional was up there.
Yeah.
You know, it's things like that this event has on the next generation of outdoorsmen.
Did you catch anything when they pulled you up there?
Yeah, caught like a largemouth.
Get out.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah,
But
he's
this-
got a pontoon boat too. Did you
Yeah.
know that?
Wow, that's
So
awesome.
I guess you could
though.
say
But-
you're relatively new to fishing.
Yeah, I'm relatively new to fishing, definitely.
But that stuck in your mind. I mean,
Yeah, I
here
mean
you
that's
are.
just one of those things
That
that
many years
I think
later.
this like we don't.
David,
Going as an adult,
Hog
I don't
Trough
think
Kyle?
we.
Did that just happen?
Yeah, I think so.
You got it, Hog Trough.
But I don't think we realize going to this show as adults that this show impacts the next generation of outdoorsmen, and we're blessed to have it in our backyards.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was an awesome week. I talked to a lot of cool people, so I had a great time. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's all, you know, those quality connections can't say it enough, man.
Yeah, like I need to go to 717 Armory and go try out their shooting range.
Yeah, that was
is-
a surprise. 'Cause
That is
that's
on
like,
my short list.
That's like minutes away. You know?
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
that's cool.
But one product
Good find.
that I've never known about is, was it Maven Optics?
Maven, yeah.
Maven.
Yeah.
That is on my short list of things I need to save for to buy.
Which one?
Their rifle scope.
Their scope's ridiculous.
Yeah, any of their optics were phenomenal.
Yeah, the binoculars are top notch.
The one that already
the rifle scopes new?
translates the
Yeah,
They used to just
I think within the past year they unveiled them.
I thought they were just bino people.
But their binoculars were awesome.
Yeah.
I've always been a big fan of Vortex, but
We know you reminded us several
I
times.
might be upgrading that also. But in the short term, I want to upgrade a rifle scope.
Yeah.
And they were really good guys too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
genuinely awesome dudes
Good to talk
hang
to.
around with.
Yeah,
That's one other thing I want to touch on is that all these vendors were very welcoming, that we got to podcast with.
Mm-hmm.
And they invited us into their booth and we chatted with them. Like by the time we were done, we were old friends.
Yeah.
Well, some we kind of invaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just,
Here, why don't you move over? We're coming in.
it was an awesome week.
Kyle,
Tall Kyle?
regular Kyle.
Regular Kyle.
Regular Kyle. Where to begin? This show has been great to me the past couple of years. It's where Will and I had our first date.
Aw.
Yeah, we made friends.
Yeah.
You were in the archery hall.
Yeah.
Our eyes locked across the crowded archery hall.
Yeah, we
Oh,
gazed
please.
for a moment. Birds were chirping. But no, I mean, this year, as the past,
were chirping. Sorry.
the one thing that I enjoyed the most, and Catfish can speak to this too, was when we stopped by the Hunt of a Lifetime booth and got to see one of the kids that was actually part of the hunting program, Sam, and that just the enjoyment on his face, and like David Kyle says, you don't realize the impact that you have on the future generation until you kind of see their reaction to what we're doing, and
You can't buy smiles like that.
No.
Like
It was-
that guy had.
he was
cool little cat.
He was like literally almost like doing backflips, like just running around. He's like, "Oh my god! Like I'm going to be on the radio," and it was a good experience overall.
Yeah.
Trying to think of new product that I saw. Not really new, but the one thing I liked were those Wicked tree saws were.
They're solid. Yeah.
Yeah, like
There's
I've always cheaped out in the past and just bought the Lowe's or Home Depot's
something
plastic
yeah.
foldable. But after playing with those things, I think I might have to upgrade my pack saw because they're.
I have two. Yeah, each pack has one.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous of Ryan walked away with one of those T. Allen rods. Those.
Yeah.
That demonstration that all you guys were doing in those videos kind of swayed me a little bit.
man.
By Merlin's beard, they're smooth. They are
That's
smooth.
right.
By Merlin's beard.
That's what I hear.
They are.
I would say that is going to be my biggest regret is not grabbing one of those.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that the bait casting demo that we did with them, or the casting demo rather, because they're just spinning rods. But I'm hoping that at that casting demo, nobody filmed me because it was pathetic.
No,
DK shaking his head yes, which is why I had to buy one. Because I have to work on it
As
and improve.
nice
so that
as they
next
are,
year-
it's not Ryan proof, is what.
Right.
We've
I mean,
kinda
I don't know if you guys know this.
discovered.
I'm relatively new to fishing, so he's like, just wait and see how far you can cast this, and I'm like, it only went 6 feet.
It's dribbled.
Mike.
Just tell them that you're fishing heavy cover. We're dropping it down right there.
This is how we get through the
Punching
lily pads in Pennsylvania.
I'm gonna use it for punching lilies.
Parking lot drop shot.
Parking lot drop shot.
There is definitely video evidence of that happening. Sorry.
Yeah. Bless your heart.
But
overall, I mean,
Yeah.
I hope that the video that we got actually did it justice. I mean, because they were pretty
Oh, it
cool.
was tough.
Well done.
Yeah,
It's a tight rod.
It sure is.
I think it did. Just from watching, I think it was it Stevie and Phil's that you guys sent the videos to the group? I don't know, but the video that you guys sent, it was convincing enough for me to want to get one.
And not to take away from T. Allen, but I do believe that the trout
take away from him.
the trout magnet rods that we also bought also has that center,
the micro guide there as well.
I didn't spring for that model.
Of course you didn't, Stevie.
That's a little out of Stevie's pay range.
The microwave.
Yeah, that would have cost what, $5 more for that?
Yeah,
I think it was
30
10
bucks.
more.
But I think the only other thing I would add is I'm just impressed with how well we all functioned together as a group.
Evidently, you weren't there Sunday at 4
where
o'clock.
we imploded.
No, I had left about 2 hours just before.
Well, consider yourself lucky.
But
I think I was like 3 hours into my first fever. So I started to
And
decompose.
6 hours into your first nervous breakdown.
But I mean, overall,
Sorry.
But I mean, overall, I mean, it seemed like when we were all together, it was like we were running like a well-oiled machine. I mean, you had guys running there ahead of people, getting guests lined up. You had people following behind.
Kyle, that's exactly right. We've all had now multiple years of experience going forward. What's it going to bring next year? I'm excited for that. I'm still excited about this year, though.
What happened last year was that show set the tone for our entire season. You know, the contacts we made and the shows that we had, a bulk of them came from the show. You know, and again, now we have the same, you know, we have more contacts. And we just did a show with Trout Magnet, you know.
Yeah.
So you got to hear that, you know, on Monday. And that's literally going to set the tone for the rest of the year. It happens. We had a big show, so I can only expect
Phil, you were
the
there.
rest of the year to go big.
Phil, you were there as many days as anybody, right? Like I think you had what, almost 7 days?
He had a cot
7
set
or
up
8
in the
days?
back.
The only day I was not there at all was Monday.
Yeah.
Me and Phil were there 8 days.
Yeah, you
Monday
guys
was
were.
was that the day that Ryan?
I think
and
that's when
David
Roland
Kyle
Martin was
met
there.
Roland
That's when
Martin?
Roland was there. Yeah. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it.
I saw him Tuesday evening, but there, like DK said, there was a lot of people around him Tuesday evening.
He's the only reason why.
Even when we got him away from people, like we were walking around his area for about 15 minutes, and he was just bombarded one after another, shaking hands, taking pictures, and I was like, "Mr. Martin, can you take 5 minutes so we can talk to you?" And it happened. So it was pretty awesome. And during the interview, some guy actually came up and was like tried to short drift us, literally, and shook his hand and everything. So he was pretty busy.
We need to thank Bobby Urig with Mega Strike because he set that up for us.
Yeah.
He's
The
Uncle
architect.
Bobby.
he was the architect of the Roland Martin interview.
But speaking of Uncle Bobby, I have a confession to make. His booth was like Hollywood casinos for me.
Were you just pulling levers?
Like
You never win.
2-3 times a day. I know I was winning. I mean, I think I'm winning. We'll find out this spring.
Yeah, when wet wading season
But,
comes around.
guys, I kept on like diverting into there. Maybe just one more pack, and then I would get a call. Hey, Uncle Buck, can you pick me up some of Uncle Bobby's crab juice over there, or whatever his magic sauce is that he puts on his lures?
It's called Uncle Bobby's Magic Sauce.
It's good stuff, folks.
You're gonna be happy later this summer. I think that you kept going back for one more pack of this or one more pack of that. You're gonna be using it up. I think you're gonna like it.
I bought a lot at the show this year.
Mega Strike.
Boom.
I really did.
For me, 3 letters, and you guys are gonna. There's some other guys that are gonna piggyback on this. No, not FLW.
POD.
No.
I know what they are.
No.
I'm not gonna say them.
Three letters summed up this whole show for me.
Roland Martin.
But that's more than 3 letters.
Oh, dang it. I suck at this game.
RFM.
What is it, Steve?
NRA. No, thank you, NRA, because they just made this entire week or the entire 9 days just so easy for us from a press standpoint, from an exposure standpoint, and those guys were great. I don't know what else to say other than thank you and see you next year, because there's no way we're
coming.
miss out on this again.
Stevie, I couldn't agree with you more. I have them on my list to talk about as well.
Do you?
Alana America.
Atlanta,
America. Miss AK-47 herself, who works with the social media for the NRA. Jason Brown, the NRA media director. They did nothing but welcome us in.
Yeah, they really put us in a position to be able to cover the show well and with a lot of freedom and a lot of access. And we just listen to the podcast we did with Jason Brown. If you haven't had a chance, we released it the middle of last week, something like that. And it was just us talking with him and about what the NRA does and how we can support it. I learned a lot in that episode about that organization. So, so thank you again.
When they had Will and Catfish on.
Well, that was
You guys need to talk about that. I mean, that was... I have a note here that says hemophiliac, and meaning that I'm glad I'm not a hemophiliac, because I had to pinch myself a lot this week through the show just to make sure I wasn't dreaming. And
I'm pretty sure you were on that show with us, Buck.
I popped on there, but
saw a head pop up.
Just a head pop, but you guys hit a home run. Golly. I sat there. I have 14 minutes of video from my perspective of you guys doing that.
Did you video that?
Yes.
So we get the call early, 10 o'clock, and it's like, what do I do? Like, I'm kind of freaking out. I don't even know what to ask my boss. Literally, like, hey, I got to be on TV, and in a couple hours, is it okay if I roll out? And fortunately for me, like, he was very supportive. And
same here. Stars in line. We hit a dead spot.
Yeah.
We got a guy back from another facility that pain clinic ran short. Everything just in line so that we could actually do that.
So, I mean, it was like, I even had enough time to kind of go to Bass Pro and buy a new outfit or two.
I needed it. I told Will.
You bought 2 outfits?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice the wardrobe change, so that's on me. I apologize.
No,
catch
it's
it.
cool because I was trying them on in the parking lot, sending pics out in between stress eating. Like,
oh man,
I love you, bro. I didn't get any of that. I did hit Lacey's hairspray up a little bit from a beard.
Oh, your beard looked great, dude.
That was something to behold. Okay, so we're here. I make it in. Phil, up until I got finished shopping at Bass Pro, Phil actually thinks he's probably going to be the only guy going on national TV to represent R2. And bless his heart, like I'm like, we told Jason, we're like, we're at work, bud. I don't know what's going to happen, but Phil's there, grab a hold of him. And, I think
I called and wound him up too.
well, I bet you, is it okay if I say you're probably touching cotton?
Oh, I touched cotton, guys. It wasn't the fact that it was live TV. I can handle that. It was representing all of you.
Yeah.
That it was 6 other people behind me on my shoulders by myself doing that, and I only wanted to do you guys justice. And I'm so glad though it turned out the way it did, because it was perfect. It could not have happened better.
It was a total 5x5.
It was 5x5. It was
loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
So, we made some things happen, and fast forward, I got there.
Thank you.
And we're getting ready. We're told like this is going to be 4 minutes, and they just want to talk about, they want us to just kind of unfold our day, what we've been getting into here at the Great American Outdoor Show. And we had some scenarios that we were talking about, and in walks Catfish with this glorious Spartan helmet beard.
Did you hear the angels singing when he walked in like I did?
I think it was like, I don't even have a word. Like, it was like two sword, like samurais kind of smacking each other.
Just touching tips.
Nothing touched his beard, but I heard the sound.
Cutting the air.
Cutting cotton.
Cutting my cotton.
Our Florida trip taught me that hand lotion works. My ATA trip taught me that a little bit of hairspray in a pinch works really well.
It was straight and square, and it looked like he was about to kick Xerxes into a pit.
Yeah.
We were about ready to go on national live NRA television. That's how I felt.
Total face armor.
Yeah, this is Harrisburg. Could have done that a little more Spartanish, but I didn't.
We got it.
So anyway, that just having him walk in looking confident, Phil gone from an 8 or a 10 to back down to a 4. His guy,
but like a Phil's 4 is like a regular person's 11.
Here we go with the math again.
I followed it.
Yeah. But to have it was just our time, and we're all, we were there together doing this really interesting thing that we never dreamed we'd be doing. And Cam and Company, Cam Edwards is phenomenal. Just kind of limped us through that.
Oh, he's a good host.
Yeah.
He's a really good host.
Yeah, he kind of gave us questions we could easily answer.
He gave us a lot of extra time too for his time slot. So
Yeah,
thank you for that, Cam.
Over 12 minutes worth of time.
And he was interested. I mean, you could see it wasn't.
Wasn't a put on.
No, it wasn't a put on. He was interested. You could tell that.
We told him he had nice face armor.
Yeah.
He liked
it. Worked.
He's like, I'm trying.
It was very humbling.
You know what else I forgot to touch on that was super cool? We got to meet 2 of our biggest fans. Mr. Brian and old Nick Brasky.
Brian Pikerowski.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nick Brasky.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Nick Brasky.
Yeah, we actually got to meet both of those guys at the show.
Kyle's right. We didn't touch base at all on our R2 dinner. Our R2 dinner went very well. So, and that's really where we got to hang out with them guys for the first time. But
yeah, absolutely. But having those guys come up and I mean, they're just like us. I mean, they're all, hardcore outdoorsmen. And
Brian freaked Lacey out, actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hey.
I know he's listening. I know you're listening. So you freaked my wife out a little bit because when you walked up,
easy, Brian.
I haven't met Brian at this point. And he walked up and he was like, "Oh, hey, I know you." And like, I don't know if you gave her a hug or a handshake, and she was like, "Okay, who's this guy? Like, who is this fella? Like, tell me he knows me and follows me on Instagram." And then I turned around not long after that must have happened, and I saw him and I went, I obviously knew his face from his social media. And
Yeah.
it was really cool to see him. Then we got a picture and we walked away, and Lacey felt much better that just some random guy come up.
You just told her that's Pike Diesel.
It's
Don't question Pike Diesel.
It's funny because that's what I said. I said that's our Diesel brother. So
Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah, you see that beard? He's respected in these parts.
he is.
Yeah, he came up to Phil. Brian met us at the Deeper booth, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, we were working the Deeper booth for a few hours, and he just, popped up, and that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool to meet him there.
I don't know how you can cover the highlights from this show in one wrap-up episodes. I mean, there's just
That's what I'm sitting
much.
here thinking. I mean, there's so much
You know,
that we're not even scratching the
we
surface
went
of how
fishing.
amazing this week was.
We went fishing last summer with Nas, but we got to meet Max
Yeah.
this week.
Maximus
Right.
Decimus Aurelius.
Yeah, you can't call
Deeper.
him Max Deeper anymore because apparently
Max Conti.
they don't like
Massimo.
Irishmen on Facebook, is what I heard. Sorry, Max.
They're like family too, just like everybody else.
Exactly.
That we develop that long-term friendship with. They're
The guys from Deeper,
The
Smart
guys from
Sonar,
Deeper,
are soul
yeah.
of the earth.
They sure are.
Yeah.
Good people.
The people from Pocono Outdoors.
Yeah.
Got to hang out with them a lot.
Josh and George.
That's what I said earlier when you asked me initials, and I said POD.
Oh yeah.
That's who. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And we didn't even get into the game call hall yet.
Good night.
Guys, guys, I spent money this year, actually. I just didn't say, yeah, I'm going to pick that up.
You put up.
I did. I put up this year.
Yeah.
Now, did you put your money where your mouth is, or your mouth where your money is?
I did put my money where my mouth is because I bought mouth calls for turkey hunting. I bought a box call.
You don't happen to have that call with you, do you?
Not those, but I do have another call with
What
me.
do you got?
I've got my Uncle Buck special out of GP Game Calls.
Run it.
Did you get him-
GP calls made him
Prove
his
it.
own custom goose call.
Is that a Mo Kraken?
It's a Mo Kraken.
Shut up.
It's the only one ever made with an orange top.
They called it the My Kraken.
Now wait a second.
His Kraken.
There's only one ever made with an orange bottom.
Oh,
I got the big hurt.
Doolin.
Wait a minute. That looks a lot like Nick Brasky's goose call.
Yeah, it's got a toenail at the bottom of it.
Bucky, put some wind through that.
Yeah. Sing us a tune.
I
Play us a little
may
ditty.
not be very good,
We
but I
don't
brought it
care.
with me. 'cause
About as new to that as
Yeah,
Brian is to fishing.
We got some work to do, but he's doing good.
There we go.
There you go.
just a little bit.
We're making noise. That
What
sounds good.
what was he saying?
You were saying, come on over here.
Come here.
Come here. Come here.
Come here.
I think you're saying
Taste a
gooey.
little bit of
Goo it.
steel. Taste some steel.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
We're gonna work on that. You're doing first time, getting it out tonight. You're already making it work.
I had to pull the trigger before I could even start, so
Absolutely, no, you're doing good.
I'm excited. I took last year and had a list of what I wanted to get, what I needed to push forward this next year for us.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Very cool. Steve-O.
I already went, bud.
Oh.
I'm good.
Willow.
We don't have enough time for me to start.
Uncle Catfish?
Uncle Catfish Show.
You got anything, bud?
This year's been really there's a ton from this year that's like Ryan said, you can't recap it. I seriously first and foremost top notch. I want to thank the NRA. they more than treated us like family. They brought us into the press hall, fed us, gave us drinks.
Yeah.
Let us use their hall for a special podcast with a new friend of mine, and Kyle kind of touched base on probably what tugged on my heartstrings this year. I met a new friend. Sam from Hunt of a Lifetime, and Kyle's right. It's hands down my favorite thing I did the whole time. There was a ton of people that I got to talk to this year from last year that actually. Here's the crazy thing. I went up to people last year that I knew and we've talked to before, and I've seen the show for years. This year, people stopped me and talked to me. I had a hard time getting through the halls from A to B. And at one point, Lacey's even said, I want to go to the gun hall. We're not going to ever get there. So that was a really cool experience for people to know who Rutten River is, that want to stop and talk to you. You know, big throw out to the guys from Bone Cold TV. My brothers at GP Calls spent a lot of time there, and Uncle John at Swamp Creek. That little corner of that hall, I spend a lot of time talking and hanging out. That's like my break area.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the guys from Deeper, Naz and Max, constantly letting us put our stuff in their closet, you know, just taking over, walking in. A lot of love from the guys from Poconos Outdoor guys, Josh and George, absolutely. For me, that was kind of my biggest highlights, other than hanging out with Tyler Dunn and Captain Mark Spagnola. But
yeah,
I had a lot of thank yous to Lacey for putting up with me all week and helping me and running errands. So thank you, Lace. And she did, you know, some stuff with the breast cancer awareness, which with Kyle that I had no clue on how to talk about whatsoever. And I listened to that back. I didn't even know my own wife had that kind of knowledge. So that was really impressive to me. The show itself was exciting to walk around. The guy, and I'm horrible with names, the guy with the holsters that make the holsters. Jeremy. He's always so exciting to me to watch him make his holsters. He's one of my favorite podcasts to do there.
He can talk while he's doing it,
yes,
too.
I think that's what's exciting is we're doing something while we're talking. You know, and that too, the National Wowed Turkey Federation, since I say it wrong all the time. Those guys are really awesome for them to come out to our R2 dinner and support us. That was great. So our R2 dinner went very well. Once again, big help from other people, Lacey, to help me make all them cans up.
That was awesome.
I was just going to say thank you for all those cans that you and Lacey made up. That was
an awesome idea.
Effort.
I really think that this year was far and surpassed anything that we did last year. Not putting down last year.
No.
It was more professional. It was more structured. And I've learned so much that we're going to do next year to make it more structured. I really want to hit one hall a day and don't leave there till we say there's no more podcasts in this hall, because that's where your feet get tired running back and forth and back and forth. And I know some people only have certain times, but I really want to try to structure that. I think that what we do, triple last year's podcast numbers and how many people we talked to, it doubled plus. And I think
I haven't tallied it up yet.
And I think I honestly think if we don't jump hall to hall, we could do more than that.
Oh my goodness.
It's tough. It is really tough. You have to hit these guys. You have to hit the different vendors when they're not busy. Like, you have to hit them whenever they're not packed.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people we walk to and we have to move on and come back. Because we don't want to, mess anything up for them either. We're there to support them. The Avula hunting people, Nancy, were opened arms. She not only was cool and talked to us, she's the one where like Bone Cold goes and hunts in Africa with her, but she afterwards stopped and talked and said, I want you and Lacey to come to Africa. This is what I can do. And it literally won't cost you but hardly nothing. Just get here. As far as she has some things that she can do to help out. So,
That's awesome.
Trying to make a dream come true.
Yeah.
Was super cool. Anyhow, the Outfitter Hall, like always, got to meet a lot of new people. Casey from Okeechobee. Want to hunt with that dude.
He's the real deal. He's been doing it for a long time, and he's not an old dude. He's pretty, he's
seems
like he was raised in it.
Yeah. Yep.
My best podcast moment came from that booth and that podcast excerpt Catfish, I have to call
The
that
little
out.
connection.
Where as soon as it happened, you and I locked eyes and we smiled a big old grin because we knew what line was coming out of both our mouths next.
I'll take you to the
Take it
hole.
all. I loved it. I love that. Thank you, man.
It was emotional year this year. I mean, it was very busy, very fast paced, very crowded, and well, I want to thank all you guys because we can't do it without each other.
Yeah.
No, none of this makes any sense.
But I guess first and foremost, Sam, I'm your biggest fan, and thank you to the NRA. Jason in Atlanta, you guys rock. So thank you.
They're great.
Thank you.
Will, what did you see that you liked? Now, don't even before we go any further, don't even ask me what I didn't buy
that goose gun.
Well, didn't you say something earlier? Like, what did you leave?
Yeah,
with
what
without
did you
buying?
leave with? Yeah, what
You
did
spent
you
like-
leave with without regretting you didn't pull the trigger on?
I could tell you about 12 things in each hole, so that's a whole other podcast.
At one point, you said you spent like $3,700 or something like that, and still hadn't
I
scratched the surface or whatever.
No, and I would have been able to spend that if I'd actually bought all those things. But yeah,
Like the Angler 14 out
I
of
think
Hobie.
I totaled everything up just from the week with gas and all. Though I think I have close to $1,500 in the week.
Holy buckets!
And I didn't really buy that much. So
Yeah.
it's not. It can get pricey to run all week long.
Yeah.
But yeah, the snow goose gun from Mossberg was definite. I would say it would be on my top of my list.
Or one of those Remington DM
Since
models.
Ryan already took my Sandblaster bait caster.
Those were cool.
I'm going to use it at your house, so it's all right.
I didn't get an Engel bait cooler.
You missed out.
And that was the one thing that I wish I would have walked out that I did not walk out.
The hard
with
one,
the-
like the one we use for bait?
Yeah.
I heard
that's the one.
They had a good sale on them too.
That's what I heard.
We never made it over.
Yeah, Steve.
I heard that later.
Yeah. But that was the one thing that I wish I would have.
Honestly, too, something I should have bought when I was there and I didn't think about it was I want a can cooker and I didn't buy one. I don't even know why I didn't.
Uncle Seth.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I wanted one, and the show was running late. I was running around looking at taxidermy at the last second.
Well, and
I saw
Stevie
Mark.
was eating dinner there. I mean, just kept getting his
That was a good deal.
Free 99 all day.
Free 90. I'll take that deal every day of the week.
Will, how'd this show go for you? As our editor, just seeing things from a 50,000 mile, 50,000 foot view.
This was bigger than. It was overwhelming for me because it was honestly the first year in a long, long time that I felt a part of the industry. I felt, welcomed and accepted. And I wasn't saying that everybody was not getting our vision, but it just, all the pieces weren't there. And now it seems like they're there. They're lining up. The numbers are coming together. The social media, we're more and more on point with that. And it makes a big difference. People look at us and vet us, that we're not just a couple guys with cool hats, at least in my opinion. It says a lot, that the stars are starting to align and at times was very overwhelming for me,
And that coming from people like Scott Lennox, the NRA, having people that are supporting you, that have made it is such a big deal that gives you the feeling of thank you very much that I'm accepted.
Yeah, these guys are, even their little pushes and things like getting the advice that we get, so, from guys who've been there a long time and are still kind of like looking after us, Mark and Tracy, to the new guys like Randy, like Stoppenhagen from Better the Hunt.
And there's
Tyler. They just want us to be like they want us to succeed as much as they want to succeed.
And we have some of the greatest friends. Brad, Jimmy working on computers. You know, there's other guys that are behind the scenes that nobody sees that we couldn't do without their support. So
Sean Holsinger came up and helped us out.
Yep.
Deeper
we keep saying deeper. They're 100%. They came to the show because of us, for the most part. It's one thing after another, and it's one like big blessing after another, and like I said, I was kind of just trying to be in the moment, and at the same time like trying to keep my feet on the ground because it was wonderful.
You had a really great moment that I could see in your eyes right before dinner, before our R2 dinner, and that to me inspired me to get through the rest of the week. So
I took a moment, and I just was like, that dinner to me is like our time, and it doesn't matter if there's 2 people or 40 people or 150 to run the numbers. It doesn't matter. That's our time, like, to kind of just
have fun and be us.
Yeah, just it's our time and our space, and to have that to interact and just kind of congeal. It means a lot. I don't know.
It does, and you know what I really like about that is no matter where I am in the room, whether there's 10 people or 40 or 150, I can always hear Stevie's laugh over everybody from across the room. Hold on, bud. I'm not done eating. Hold on. And you know what? The fact that Deeper gave us the Deeper to give away on Facebook Live, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a total blast at our dinner.
Yeah, that was unexpected. We were just chatting a few weeks ago, and they offered that up. So.
And our friends our new friends at Appalachian Brewing, and saying, let's pencil you in for next year. Let's get this thing, let's grow it.
It was a good setting, wasn't it?
I liked it.
I did too.
Yeah, I think it was good.
I think big things are to come next year. I really hope that you guys enjoyed your year. And we always say, we go up there to meet, like Ryan said, 1 or 2 people. I met a couple cool connections this year that I think that will pan out into more of a friendship than work, but some work through them. But the guys from Hero, the new company Hero.
Yes.
Billy and Ed, and there's some other ones there, but Billy and Ed are who we spoke to. Super cool guys. One's from Texas, I believe, and the other one's from South Dakota. So they work together from a long way away.
Yeah.
Like I said, Nancy from Avola, but and others.
And I know we're going to have to wrap up here before too long. I got to throw in Atif from was it Buck and Bear Knives or
Buck and Catfish Knives.
Well, we're trying to get him to change it to Buck and Catfish Knives, but he's a local guy out of Lancaster.
Yeah, the 717 guys are all local. Yep.
And he makes some beautiful blades. From the practical to the museum quality.
He's a 3rd generation knife maker.
I was just going to say, listen to his story on our Great American Outdoor series from this year. We interviewed him. He is the American story. He's the epitome of America.
That could be your good connection from this year.
Yeah.
Go visit him and learn. Maybe he'll teach you how to make knives.
I'd be blessed to even know how to use one properly.
I'm sure
let alone make it. So.
I'm sure he'd probably teach you.
But I had to throw him out there. He's a local guy that I wanted to make sure we.
Well, you shouldn't be throwing anybody.
I don't.
Yeah, but come on now. That's not like you.
There is one thing that there's pros and cons. There's one thing I'm going to learn for next year, and it's not that I don't love milkshakes. I don't need 7 or 8 of them. So. Because I only had 1 crab cake this year, but I had like 8 milkshakes, which added up to a lot of money.
I got you one that was half and half, and then till you got it, it was just chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where I was talking to somebody, but I got it.
Bless your heart.
I drank that one quick.
It was chocolate.
That's because I drank half of it before you.
So we always got to tell one good funny story, though. So we're walking out the last Saturday night, and we're headed out. And some guy walks in as I'm headed out and just randomly hands me like a handful of concert tickets.
Oh, that's right.
He's like, here, bud, I can't go. Me and my friends can't go. Take these. And I looked around and I was going, I don't think I can go either because we were going out to dinner with friends. And so I literally walked back in as the place was 90% empty, trying to find anybody there was to give all these concert tickets away. And I kept going, oh, thanks, man. Thank you. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're welcome. They weren't my tickets.
It was supposed to be a good show, though, from what we
Apparently
heard.
it was a great show, yeah. But
we should definitely hit up the concert next year. It looked like a lot of fun. It's one thing that I think we missed for the atmosphere of the show.
Yeah.
So we should schedule that in.
They need to put a cots in there for as tired as we are, though, so we can lay down.
Yeah. It was a week.
Media passes.
Put us up in the sky booth.
Anyhow, I had a great week. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a great week.
All right, guys, where can they find us?
At RuttenRiverPursuits.com.
On Instagram and Twitter at R2Pursuits.
And at Rutten River Pursuits Podcast on YouTube.
What the hang, bud? I was getting to it.
You were taking way
he
too
short
long.
drifted to YouTube.
Holy buckets.
We can also be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play,
Castbox.
Go check out the picture of the week on the front cover of our website. I'm actually going to leave this picture up for 2 weeks because it's my friend Sam.
All right.
Sam the man.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, guys.
Rick and Weedless.
I think that just shows how we grew from the first year, and again next year we're going to be all the better for having had 2 years now, and two of us for 1 year under their belts.
-3.
I can't
Carry
do that
the
math
one.
this late at night, bud.
Plus
One.
another 4.
5 by 5.
Buckle my shoe.
That's 25, but 1, 2. We can do math.
Come on,
Or we can
man.
talk more about this Great American Outdoor Show.
Start that over.
Where was I even going with that? I'm sorry, guys.
Crunch those numbers again.
We took what we learned from last year. We pivoted or piggybacked, if you will, to use a term that we've used before, off of last year. All of us have had now, 5 of us have had 2 years, and 2 of us have had 1 year.
Come on, what are you doing? Stop doing that. Nobody cares about the vague numbers. All right.
We have 12.
Vague numbering is an epidemic.
Technically, some of us have had 6 years. We did Posted Outdoors 7 years ago.
Yeah, so 2 people have 6 years.
Let's get this right.
We have two ones.
Hard-hitting number crunch talk.
I got my pen. I'm ready to go.
We have 2 1s, 2 7s, a 4, a 3.
I think this is what the Powerball. Is this the new Powerball?
I have a 2 by 1, a 2 by 7, and a 3 by 4.
5 by 5.
And a 5 by 5.